Hello everyone, I am Suhas Netaji More. I welcome all the research scholars of various universities, faculty members, and the guest speakers of the program present here. With great pleasure to witness the phenomenal event Ecbmsea 2021 and to be the part of it. The Eurasian Conference on Business Management, Social and Economical Advancement is organized by Management Institute, the Warsaw University of Life Sciences, Poland, Institute of Service Management, Germany, College of Social Sciences and Humanities, Bullahora University, Ethiopia, and Research Culture Society. It is co-sponsored by Institute of Management and Economy, Eurasian University, and Scientific Research Association. The objectives of the international conferences are the main objective is to observe the current scenario towards the advancement of common citizens' life by improving the theory and practice of various disciplines of business, management, and economy. The aim of the conference is to provide an interactional stage for researchers, practitioners from academia and industries to deal with state-of-the-art advancement in their respective fields. The Management Institute, the Verso University of Life Sciences. It was established in 2019. The institute in its assumptions conducts research as well as disseminates knowledge in a field of management, science, and quality, and in particular, knowledge management, digital management, or social corporate responsibilities. About the university, I should talk about the Warsaw University of Life Sciences. It is the oldest agricultural university in Poland and the fourth of this type in Europe. Its origins date back to 1816 and are related to the establishment of the Agronomic Institute of Marymount. The advocates of its foundation were Stanislaw Staszik and Stanislaw Potoki, and its first director was Jerzy Benjamin Flat, one of the best experts in economic relations in the Kingdom of Poland. Let's talk about Research Society. Research Culture Society is a government registered scientific research organization. Society is working for research community at national and international level. To impart quality and non-profitable services, society has successfully organized 100 plus conferences, seminars, symposiums, and other educational programs at national as well as international level in association with different educational institutes. Educational institutes, colleges, universities are welcomed for memorandum of understanding, free to sign without any charges for academic exchange, knowledge sharing, and collaboration to organize events with us. We are promoting the sponsoring educational events as well as publishing research work in collaboration. We also invite sponsorship from the industries, societies, institutions, and government bodies for our educational programs. Let me talk in brief about Bullahora University, Ethiopia. It was established to play its part in the national efforts for bringing quality and excellence in teaching, learning, research, community services, administrative functions, good governance, connecting the departments of cultural and natural resources with technology and its application. Now, let me talk in brief about the College of Social Sciences and Humanities. It is one among the 8 colleges having 5 departments currently. The college offers 16 Bachelor of Arts and 17 Master of Arts, 2 PhD programs in regular summer and weekend. To talk about the Department of Sociology and Social Work, I must mention that at bachelor's level, 34 students graduated in June 2021 and 110 students are doing their studies in second, third, and final year of study. Very recently, the department has launched Master of Arts and Social Work MASW program to meet the ground needs of West Guji, Bullahora town, Borena, Yavelo and Mayale Voreda, and East Guji, Adola, and Nigella towns. Next, I would like to talk about the College of Business and Economics. The College of Business and Economics needs to produce well-trained manpower in the area of business and economics that could contribute towards the development of the country along with the production of the professionals. The college shoulders public responsibility to back up the development efforts of the national through provisions of the quality education, society's problem-solving research activities, community-based services, and many others. After this brief introduction of the institutions who are the stakeholders of this event, I should quickly proceed to the invited talk. Now, for the session of the invited talk, I welcome all the research scholars, faculty members of the universities from around the world, and the respected guests. With all, I also welcome our keynote speakers. I welcome our first keynote speaker, Dr. R. Sivarathina Mohan, Associate Professor at Department of Professional Studies, Christ deemed to be University, Bangalore, India. I also welcome our second keynote speaker, Dr. Marcus A. Lohner, Professor for Business Administration and Service Management, Anastasova University of Applied Sciences, Sutenberg campus, Germany. I also welcome our third keynote speaker, Joachim Delicat from Germany. I also welcome our fourth keynote speaker, Professor
Hello, sir.
Lina.
Good morning.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Hello, sir. Good morning. Am I audible?
Give me a minute,
Just
sir.
finish the introduction, maybe.
No, sir. For the first invited talk, I invite Dr. R. Sivarathina Mohan, Associate Professor at Department of Professional Studies, Christ deemed to be University, Bangalore, India. Let me give you the introduction in brief. He is an Associate Professor at Department of Professional Studies, Christ deemed to be University, Bangalore. He was working as Vice Chancellor of AAFT University, Media and Arts, Raipur. He holds a doctorate degree from Bharatiya University, Coimbatore, Tamil Nadu. Dr. R. Sivarathina Mohan actively involved in consultancy work with companies in Bangalore in his academic career spanning over more than 25 years. So Dr. R. Sivarathina Mohan has participated and presented research papers at national and international conferences, also holds nearly 30 articles publication in leading journals to his credit. Dr. R. Sivarathina Mohan.
First of all, I would like to thank the organizer of this conference for giving me an opportunity to deliver the keynote address in this August occasion. So today I want to discuss with you all with the topic, the future of future manager. I think that is a very important topic necessary to discuss on the today's scenario. The reason why we are in the mid of the pandemic, the total situation has been changed like that all over the world and the universe. Everyone, you all may accept my words, what I have stated to you all. So we are in the mid of pre and post pandemic. In that situation, the managers are in a position to redefine how they are going to move ahead for the future scenario. Yes, that's why I have chosen this particular topic in this keynote scenario, that is the future of future manager. Here, what I want to stress that the manager of the future are going to have a challenge the traditional idea of management and push back against many business practices that are outdated and no longer relevant. So one more thing I want to stress on here, that the future manager will have to adopt the future employee. What I mean that the new way of working, thinking about the work. And one more thing, in speaking with the manager of many countries, what they stated that the things are changing, yet they are not sure what those change look like or what kind of the manager they should strive to become. So accordingly, if I speak about what are the things necessary to adopt by the future manager, that is a few things of what I have identified. One is the future manager must be a leader, and not only the leader, they must follow from the front. As a frontline manager, they must face all kind of the challenges, including the technology and innovations. And they must not only understand the technology, they must lead by example. That is also the important matter behind. And one more thing, that they must embrace vulnerability towards all kind of the things to be happen in the future scenario. Then they must believe in sharing and also collective intelligence. That is also the part of the future management. And another thing, that they must accept the challenges that are conventional and be a fire starter like that. Then they must practice the real-time recognition and the feedback. You know that most of the recognition and the feedback system are threat to the existing employees, those who are following the traditional method of the management. But they must be very conscious of the personal boundaries, and they must adapt to the future employee. So, yes. I moved to the slide, so I think that may be more visible to all. Many things what I have stated, that the leader by the future manager must lead by example and understand the technology and follow from the front. The few things are in my mind that I want to present in front of the researchers and the audience of the today. The future of the future manager relies on flexibility, adoption, and pragmatism. So what I try to share with you, that whether we need a complete reinvention of management principle or not is open for the academic debate. However, one question in front of us, for that we must prepare for that, what can be said for certain is the management practice and norms must adopt to the fast changing environment that is spreading through every pore of the economy and the society. So yes, the today's managers necessary to be flexible and also adapt with the new technology and the innovation and redefine the new paradigm in the new society. And one more thing, many times I use the word, yes, the technology and innovation. Here, what I want to mean the management innovation is that using the technology to help transform the organization. So very few researchers also very clearly stated that in their research discussion and research work, that what resulted from this is improved performance as reflected in the increased innovation, productivity, and competitiveness from the research work of the Hamel and Moll. So from there, what they try to explain that management innovation explains a substantial degree of the variability of innovation performance of firm, thus emphasizing that active simulation of the management innovation will be crucial to improve the competitiveness of the firm. So accordingly, what we understand about the management innovation is that by using the technology, how to transform the organization in the digital way or whatever the things in which we can be able to face the challenges in the future. The reason why nowadays the workplace are switch over into the home or the house like a work from home. So in that situation, we are necessary to connect with the technology. Through the technology, we necessary to perform most of the work and satisfy the customer services. So in that perspective, yes, the technology necessary to help transform the organization, that management innovation and technology must be familiar by the future managers. And one more thing is that innovation must be rooted in organizational fabric and culture to be sustainable. So our organization in future, not only for the survival and the sustainability. So how this innovation can be rooted in the organization fabric and the culture, for that, how are the extent to which the management innovation is the sources of sustainable advantage over there, over simply imitating competitors depend on the extent to which it embeds into the company system and culture, are the necessity to be the talk of the industrial society. So from which what I want to say that innovation, management innovation that can be encapsulated within a technique or procedure like a balanced scorecard can be imitated easily. So what I try to say that, yes, the technology must help for the transformation of the organizational process. Innovation must be rooted through the organizational fabric and the culture. Yes, with the diversified culture through the industrial society, through the employee, or through the sources of the future managers must, or that make the future of the future management in with the more clarity. So then one more question was in my mind, that is what makes the future of the management differ from management today. So here I have enlisted from the research, from the different research, what I could be able to read from the different journal is that first thing is organization design is evolving. Yes, sir. They could not rely on, they could not one second, please. Such what I could be able to understand that organization is evolving. Yes, the existing organizational design or the hierarchy and the delegation of authority, whatever things if you are speaking, necessary to redefine. Then one more thing, the future of the management is defined by flat hierarchy and shared competency. That is also the urge of the today in the future management system. And one more thing, managerial work and manager skills are also evolving. So what existing skill mostly sufficient like that, we could not speak that. So we must emerge as an effective leader, effective manager, effective facilitator like that. So in case, so we must enhance our managerial skill and managerial work that to adopt with the new technology and challenges. And one more thing that what I identified from many research that fostering the community collaboration and impersonal relation is vital part in the new part of the managerial innovation. Yes, be necessary to connect with the community and collaborated with not only the technology and all other thing as a whole with a proper interpersonal relationship. Yes, be necessary to move ahead our future management. And one more thing, we need the new leaders. So existing leaders, how they can be able to cooperate or coordinate or adapt with the new managerial system, I could not be sure about that. So we need the leaders, they must have a vision, look ahead and adapt to the emerging trends. These are all the very important for the future of the management. So that way we can be able to differentiate from the existing and also adapt with the management today. So with one point, with one question, I want to conclude that how can employees prepare for the future of the management? So only one answer in front of me, organization must invest in people power, flexibility and learning. So that will helpful for the employer and employee prepare for the future of the management. So here, one thing I want to say is that how the organization must invest in the people power, how the organization must be flexible, then the learning all are within them. So there is no one static method or methodology for the investment in the people power or flexibility and learning. According to changing in the technology in changing, the way they live and work. Then they strive under the disruptive forces of digitalization. By finding some of the methods and the technologies, they can move ahead. So that is a mode of the organization can able to invest in people power, flexibility, and learning. So from our discussion, what I want to say that the future of the future management, the future of the future managers, those who are involved in the organizational process are going to face in a complicated or in the challenging way. So they necessary to prepare themselves with a new technology and managerial innovations. For that, they must prepare and invest in the people power with a more flexibility in an adaptive way and learning. So with that conclusion, I want to complete my keynote speech. Thank you. Thank you for one and all gather here today. So I think many things I try to make you understanding. If you have any additional suggestion or recommendations or any other doubts if you are having, you can raise it. I try to explore and answer for the same.
Thank you so much, sir.
Over to the panel members.
Thank you so much, sir. Sir, for the sharing of valued information with us, your guidance for the new researchers will prove much inspiring and motivational. The new research area is explored with your speech to us. Your views on the management and the future were much more valuable. Now, let us proceed for the next talk. For the second talk, I invite here Dr. Marcus A. Lohner, Professor for Business Administration and Service Management, Westphalia University of Applied Sciences, Suddenburg Campus, Germany. Let me have the opportunity to introduce him to you. He is a full-time professor for Business Administration and Service Management at the Westphalia University of Applied Sciences at the campus Suddenburg. He also teaches master students in the ZWIRN Center in Sustainability and Risk Management. Its areas of expertise are international management, e-business, controlling, finance, corporate communication, and investor relations, as well as the scientific methods. Before this, he was visiting lecturer at Wolfgang Buttel University of Applied Sciences, Fresenius University, Hamburg School of Management, and International School of Management. He researches in the area of digitalization, e-learning, compliance management, and intuition. His EU-funded EFRE research projects were digital trust and teamwork and intuition. He also managed the global follow-up project, Digital Trust at the Workplace, with 30 co-researchers in 13 languages in 30 countries. In cooperation with 14 ministries of education in Germany, he researched e-learning at vocational schools. Together with Intersoft Consulting Services, AG, he researched compliance management. He publishes academic articles in journals and runs a lab for IT and media technology. Marcus organizes a yearly academic international service management congress with over 50 speakers, beginning global experts in digitalization together. The results are published as conference proceedings and in journal articles. He has over 20 years of experience in financial and corporate communications in various capital market measures, as well as marketing and corporate controlling, 9 of which are the USA. He worked for Hoist AG and SGL Carbon AG, as well as SGL Carbon Incorporation in Charlotte NC Philip Holzman, AG Media, AG Altana in New York, Mark AGA, and as a managing partner of Transatlantic Investor Relation LLC. For numerous other companies from DAX30 to SDAX in New York, was on the board of the German American Chamber of Commerce New York Incorporations. So please welcome with me Dr. Marcus A. Donner. Over to you, sir.
Thank you very much for having me again at this wonderful conference. I thank you, Chirag Patel, for this opportunity, and the Research Culture Society, as well as Professor Paliskiewicz from Poland and the University from Ethiopia. I listened to that very carefully, and thank you for this valuable message from Africa. Today, I would like to speak about the future of e-learning in intercultural integration, because this is what we do at our Institute for Charitable Nonprofit Services. A short disclaimer, because this is not an academic presentation. I did 3 days of conference last week, as the announcer said before, so that's why we had to push back to Sunday for the speech. I apologize for that. And actually, I'm speaking right now from Turkey. We will research here together with Turkish professors. So I'm not in Germany right now, and I greet you all from Turkey. This is a non-academic presentation. No analytical research has been done. This is only food for thought, and maybe this helps you to think about the future of the e-learning in intercultural integration. We have an Institute for Charitable Nonprofit Services. It's a GmbH, what is called in Germany, and we do e-learning services. And my colleague Joachim Delikat will introduce that in the third keynote speech in more detail. The problem of intercultural integration. From a German perspective, and there are much more perspectives to this, I know, but let me shed some light on that. After World War II in Germany, there were lots of integration of migrants from structural weak areas in Europe, such as Italy, Turkey, and other countries. So Germany brought them to the newly established Germany, and so we helped in European regards. There was no integration program at all. The only thing that was there is work. So all the people coming from Turkey and Italy were basically workers, and they're working in Germany very, very hard. In the beginning, these programs were planned for 2 years, but then unlimited stay was granted by the German government. And this is why we have now a large community of Turkish, Italian, and many other countries in Germany. Over the years, more migrants came to Germany from Latin America. And after the opening of Eastern Europe, we had lots of migrants from Eastern Europe, Romania, Bulgaria, Poland, and other countries. But what happened in 2015, and that's very important for the intercultural integration in Germany. We had the refugee crisis in Europe, coming from Syria. And actually, what I researched and what I found out is there were no payments for the refugee camps from the European Union. And that was very sad. So the refugee camps did not have money. The amount of money was lowered, and then it wasn't paid at all anymore. So what could the refugees do? They had to migrate. Yeah, there was a very bad situation in the refugee camps, so they had to go and find better situations. So there was a Balkan route coming to Europe, and in 2015, 20,000 refugees, this is just part of the story, very, very briefly, stranded in Romania at the Grand Central Station. So Angela Merkel said, okay, we help these 20,000 refugees, bring them to Germany, we integrate them, and the slogan was, we can do it. However, through the online communication to all other refugees via computers and mostly mobile phones, there was a big wave coming of refugees to Germany. Basically, Angela Merkel, maybe not by their will, but by an accident, said they are all welcome in Germany. So a big wave of refugees were coming from Syria, Afghanistan, many other countries. And like I said before, we had many migrants in Germany before, but what was the problem right now? The Muslim culture meets Germany. And that was a bigger problem that we had before, and we had to deal with it. That's why we made an application in 2015 and started a program in 2016 to integrate refugees in Germany. And our idea was to train the trainer, because many people were supporting non-for-profit and voluntarily, but they didn't have any idea how to do it. So we started a program to train the trainer, so the people who help refugees get an additional education. Here we were supported by the Lotto Sport Stiftung, as a Lotto Sports Foundation in Germany. The Technical University of Lübeck gave us a platform, and Lingua TV in Berlin gave us online German language courses. Where's our institute? We are in Suderberg. And where is Suderberg? It's somewhere between Hamburg, Berlin, and Hanover, close to the Volkswagen plant. And the next big city is Uelzen. And this is the town hall here, as you can see. And we had many actions done in Uelzen as well. We have websites, internet page, Facebook. We have a YouTube channel. If you'd like to know more about detail, Joachim Delekat will talk about it, or you can visit us on the respective sites. But now we have an ongoing refugee crisis and migrant crisis. It's not over yet. So there's no real overview of the refugee and migrant crisis. At least I didn't research it. I just want to give some examples. More Muslims are coming into Europe, and we need to integrate them. African migrants coming through the desert, to Libya and other North African countries. And very sadly, they jump into boats and from Libya and other countries and try to reach Europe. And that's very, very sadly. And I always say this, why do we help African refugees only if they're sitting in a boat? Why don't we help them earlier, when they're safely in the harbor, when they're in their home countries? Germany, very critically saying, is we wait until they risk their life sitting in a boat on the Mediterranean Ocean, and then either the Libyan Coast Guard or European support agencies rescue them. There's a European enclave from Spain next to Morocco, and people try to come over the fences there. There are Venezuelans migrate to Brazil. There are many other tribes. All I know in research, there are in over 60 million migrants and refugees at present. Germany is helping just a few migrants and refugees, and these are the ones making it to Germany. So once you make it to Germany, you get supported big time, and we can support them in integrating them. However, we should think about helping them earlier within their countries where they're coming from, or when they're in the refugees camp, where we have very bad situations in different countries. And lots of countries are helping big time with the refugee camps. Germany does not. We just support the people that are coming to Germany. Think about it. So what is done so far? What's the actual present situation? As an example, there's a border from Mexico to the United States. So who built this wall? Donald Trump was speaking about, I built the wall. Was it really him? No. This wall is very old. The wall was built by President Clinton, by Bush, and by President Obama. These are the presidents who built the wall, not Donald Trump. Donald Trump wanted to make a better wall, but there was a wall long time ago already. And even Obama sent troops to the border to protect this border. So this is the situation at the border in the United States. So let me ask you, who builds new walls? Are there new walls? Well, we all know there's the wall in Israel, in Jerusalem, and ever since there's less death and everything, it's very sad. But who builds completely new walls? Turkey built a new wall to Syria, and this was built 2015, 2016, and 2017, and it's 700 kilometers long. 700 kilometers. I'm not talking about the financing, why, because it's recorded, but I have some ideas how this was financed. Food for thought. Iraq builds a fence to Syria, and Saudi Arabia builds a lot of walls around them against Iraq and Yemen, and as far as I know, in total, that's 900 kilometers of fence. How do the refugees now come to Europe? There was in the past the Balkan route. Yeah, they came from Turkey or Libya to Greece and then made it through the old country of Yugoslavia to Austria and then to Germany. But this route was closed. And presently we have lots of refugees sitting in Greece on an island and waiting for help. We also know that Turkey has a lot of migrants from Syria and also Jordania, I think 2 million refugees from Syria. There's a wall protection from Spain to Morocco. It's a very high wall, and sometimes you hear stories about African migrants climbing over the fence, and then military has to come to protect this fence. Some were swimming around the fence through the ocean, which is also very, very dangerous. All of a sudden, Libya has a coast guard with ships, and you can see stories on the internet where the Libyan coast guards try to rescue the refugees from Africa, but then European boats come, and then these people jump back into the water and swim to the European refugee boats, and then they hope to get brought to Europe and maybe Germany. So this is a very bad situation, and this is not how it's supposed to be. So what is the future of the refugees? Will there be more refugees, more migrants? I think there will be more migrants, so through to many reasons, but also in Germany, we talk about the Emission Gap Report 2021, and this says there will be more climate change refugees. Whether this holds true or not, everybody in Germany talks about climate change right now, so this is the key word right now, but actually it is because in many countries we have very bad situations politically and economically, and these might be the reasons where we have to give support in the countries where the people are coming from. Even the UN, and this is just from Wikipedia, this is no research, this is common knowledge, and I didn't research a lot, but the UN is watching the migration of the nations. And we had that before in the Middle Ages within Europe and other countries. And maybe we are at the beginning of a totally new migration of nations we have to deal with. We want to help. And this is the small team out of Suderburg and Uelzen. Joachim Delikat will speak after me, and we also have Frank Nierat on the team. So what is the future of e-learning? Yeah, so we have a little institute to support the integration. We work also with the vocational school in Uelzen, and we try to do this via e-learning because all of the refugees have a mobile phone. And interesting enough, when the pandemic hit Germany, and you know that the pandemic is very, very severely in Germany, there were almost no integration actions anymore because of the pandemic. They all had to close because these were programs in presence. Our institute kept on working because we are in e-learning, so we are corona-free, online without any with distance, and we're providing here support for more integration into Germany. So we hope there will be more support like this to integrate that. We have a great community of integration in Germany. This developed very fastly and very enthusiastically. And know that there are more migrants out there. Right now, we're talking migrants at the border to Poland, in Belarus. We're talking about the boat people. We're talking a lot of people. And one sad thing I wanted to say also, and it's very critically, I know, is that actually the people that get married with foreigners almost get no help in Germany. So Germans get very limited help when they marry foreigners and want to bring them to Germany as their wives or husbands. And I faced this problem myself. And just as a little story at the end, it took me 1.5 years to bring my wife to Germany. 1.5 years. So these are just some food for thoughts, not analytically, just a little bit critical to make you think. And don't forget the migrants, 60 million of them out there sitting in various countries across the world. They need help. And it's not only that we help a few refugees for show, yeah, or small amount of help. There's over 60 million of refugees that need help, and we need to educate them. There are many children in the camp who need schools. There are many families who need support to feed their children. And I know there are a lot of men out there, maybe for other reasons, but never forget the children and the families. They need support, and just want to give some food for thoughts for everyone out there to support this tribe. Thank you so much. If there's some questions, we can discuss it. Here's our institute, and
it's my first international conference. I hope you can hear and see me. And now we start. Markus Launer talks a lot of the problems in Germany, and it is true. We have two parts in my presentation. One is intercultural integration, and second is the COVID-19 task force program. Yes, you introduced me because this I can go to the next chart. Markus shows this chart. Is the city hall Uelzen. Uelzen is in North Germany. It's between Hamburg and Hanover. We are a little town, 40,000 inhabitants, but it is not far to go to Hamburg and Hanover. This train you need 40 minutes. To Berlin you need 1 hour, 40 minutes. Yeah, I think we central. Yes, the Lower Saxony Lotto Sport Foundation has been promoted the project since 16. The collaboration took place in different phases. In 16, immediate aid for the Uelzen district, training for multipliers. In 17, direct support for refugees and migrants, integration into the labor market. In 18, direct support for refugees and migrants for integration in Germany, cultural integration. In 19, Markus Launer is the foundation of the Institute for Non-Profit Service, GmbH, modification of the further training offer. In 20, adaptation for the intercultural integration program. And now we have a lot to do with the COVID-19 instant training program. Yes, here are some information from the local press. It's in German. The translation is, yes, the online teaching for helpers, for refugees. In Australia, teach the helpers. Now you see some people from the team left. It's my person. It's Dr. Anna Auer, Markus Launer, Pari Niemann, Baji Izidi. We are the first team to teach online the helpers. Yes, so far we have over 70 online courses offered via the portal. Training of over 100 multipliers reached a total of approx 1,000 refugee helpers. Each refugee helper stands for approx 10 supervised refugees. The direct integration of around 100 refugees into the labor market. We have 20 certificates. We have in German courses for 12 students from vocational school in Uelzen, integration lectures at the Australia University on the Soderburg campus for approx 80 students. Yes, and we have support from a lot of specialists in, yes, the whole Germany, from Munich, from Berlin, from Tübingen, and so on. Yes, here are some information from the local press. You see Markus Launer, and we have some refugees at the Australia University. On the right side, you see a picture from the railway station in Uelzen. No? As they come to Germany. Yes, it's a picture of Markus with a dog. We have some lessons in Australia, and on the right side you see with the press that Markus Launer even teach online the helpers. Yes, here's a photo from the hall. City Hall, Hansestadt Uelzen. It's the first international congress. You see Markus Launer. And we have a lot of professors from all over the world, from Brazil, from Argentina, from Japan, and so on. Yes, we are in cooperation with local schools. You see, it's COVID-19. We have a mask. Yes, the COVID-19 instant training program improvement of our platform from Encompass GmbH to Zoom in cooperation with vocational school, die Berufsbildende Schule 1 Uelzen. It's a vocational school to teach business. The press in 18, das vernetzte Leben, e-learning. It means e-learning. Yes, a problem. Integration come to a standstill in Germany due to the COVID-19 crisis. Schools and universities are closed in short notice. There's a lack of teachers at grammar schools, vocational schools, and universities. Due to the COVID-19 crisis, more classes are cancelled and teachers are falling. Some universities are equipped with e-learning. High schools and vocational schools have so hardly taught using e-learning. There's a lack of platforms and experience. This is a study by Professor Lina. We have most e-learning programs use live chat through Adobe Connect. Due to the COVID-19 crisis, more meetings are being held online. There's a lack of internet bandwidth and many streaming platforms do not work. Yes, this is a chart Marcus show you. If you see documentations, we have a YouTube channel. You can see it, but it's in German. In the instant training program, the fundraising for a COVID-19 instant training program with video, recording and animated exercises on the learning platform Moodle, exam preparation for Abitur, technical college and vocational school qualification, emergency program in the event of teachers' failure. Only online teaching concept via video, exercises and animations, fast implementation through years of experience in research, sensible security by spending with live recording. Use of e-learning research at Fordham University, learning concepts in multinational companies, in German vocational schools, with 14 federal states in Germany, and in international universities. Yes, the fundraising program for Corona-19 emergency training program is video recording and animated drones on a learning platform. It's moderation from Professor Lina. We have interactive video wall and modern technology. Yes, you know the impressum, it's the information, you know the address. Yes, thanks you for attention. If you have some questions, maybe I can answer, or Marcus. Thank you.
Great. Please any questions from the participants. Thank you, sir, for bestowing the abundance of knowledge with your words upon us. The talk always inspires the new research scholars and motivates for further research. Your example, you are the example of the same here. Now, for the fourth invited talk, I invite Professor Lina Anastasova. Let me have this opportunity to introduce her to you. Professor Lina Anastasova has a master's degree in economics from the University of National and World Economy, Sofia, and PhD from the Bulgarian Academy of Sciences, Bulgaria. She is a member of the faculty staff at the university since more than 25 years and has been a long period in the faculty management team. She is teaching a couple of marketing subjects, basics of marketing, marketing research, tourism marketing, and relationship marketing, and has been a guest professor in a lot of countries in Europe and Malaysia. Dr. Anastasova has been involved as a leader or member of nearly 25 research projects and has more than 80 journal and conference papers in many countries: UK, Germany, Italy, Spain, South Africa, Canary Island, Morocco, etc. Professor Lina Anastasova has published 6 books, 5 in Bulgarian and 1 in Russian in co-authorship. She is a member of 4 professional organizations and a member of the editorial board in 4 international journals: European Journal of Tourism Research and 3 Asian journals. Professor L. Anastasova is a member of the Association of the British Scholars as a trainee at the management course of Roffey Park Management College, Horsham, UK, and she has a certificate on strategic marketing, the hospitality industry, Hotel Institute, Cesar, Ritz, Switzerland. So, with great round of applause, I welcome Professor Lina Anastasova. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you very much, dear colleague. I'm happy to be here on this conference. So I would like first of all to thank you, the organizers, the Research Culture Institute, and the other organizers from Poland, Germany, Ethiopia, and this invitation to have a keynote speech here gives me the opportunity to meet you all. Of course, not in present, but even online, we are together now. Unfortunately, due to the COVID pandemic, we cannot meet personally and establish personal contacts. I'm coming from, let me tell you a couple of words about my university. I'm coming from Burgas Free University, this in Bulgaria. This is one of the first private universities in Bulgaria, established in 1991. My faculty is one of the biggest faculties at the university, Faculty of Business Studies. We have a couple of bachelor degree programs, some master's programs, mainly in the field of finance, marketing, accounting, tourism, marketing, international economic relations. So it's a relatively big portfolio of programs where our students are studying. And we are very active in the international cooperation. We have a lot of Erasmus Plus partners, and a lot of students and teachers are going on teacher or student mobility. So maybe we can establish, we have a cooperation with the Malaysian universities, but maybe in the future we can establish also cooperation with some Indian universities. My speech, keynote speech, the topic is redefining marketing challenges in a changing world. And I don't have a presentation because the last 2 weeks I was in fact sick, and also other duties, classes, but and I will have just a speech. But also I don't have pictures and charts to show like on some previous presentations. So I will mainly talk, but I hope that my speech will, so to say, will inspire thoughts also in the audience about the marketing challenges in these difficult times. You know, the COVID pandemic has totally changed our everyday lives, and the business world as well. The virus has been able to change lifestyles of the entire world drastically and cause it an unexpected challenge to a wide variety of things, such as public health, international affairs and trade, transportation, tourism, food and catering services, etc. And we know that the world will never be the same like before 2020. So businesses have to adapt their strategies, their activities to the new reality, because we will live at least in the next 2-3 years in this new reality. So I have done mainly internet desk research on different papers, but a lot of also websites, and I investigated some data. So I summarized this information in my keynote speech, and I tried to classify these marketing challenges in two groups, challenges which are related to strategic level and challenges which are related to operational level. In fact, most of these challenges are not totally new, but they are redefined, so to say. They need to be redefined because of the new situation. So the first challenge related to strategic level is the challenge new consumer habits. Here, I mean the new kind of experiential marketing. What does it mean? Companies, we all know that companies nowadays are competing not with their competitors, but they're competing with the last best experience their clients have. So most of the companies are trying now to add to their products or services interesting experience, even if their products are with high quality, but they try to add also experiences in their company shops, in the areas where the clients are getting acquaintance with their products and services. So nowadays the activities of the companies must be focused really on the customer experiences, not only on the products. And as I said, this is not a new challenge. Experiential marketing evolved in the 80s, in the middle of the 80s, and some of the most famous authors in this area are Holbrook, Hirschman, Gentile, and they speak about this new marketing concept, experiential marketing. So the five main components of the experiential marketing are the sensory marketing, the emotional marketing, the relationship marketing, the cognitive marketing, and the action marketing. So nowadays, we just see that this trend to shift to experiential marketing is going faster. We see this acceleration of the trend to experiential marketing. This marketing will still play a key role in the marketing toolkit of the companies, but in the virtual space. This is the new moment. So the trend will continue. It is not new. It is in the last 20 years, but it will be mainly in the virtual space. In fact, smart and strong brands nowadays are already adjusting their strategies to the different situation. So in this context, I have to put stress also on the augmented and virtual reality after COVID-19. These two realities, they are part of the new experiential marketing, and most of the companies are really using these realities to strengthen their marketing. I can give, in fact, these are the two main technological tools that strengthen the company or the firm marketing nowadays. And I can give a lot of examples on using virtual and augmented reality in the marketing activities of the companies. But I just would like to give two examples which are very, very good. And a lot of companies now are trying to follow some of the best examples on virtual and augmented reality. There is one example, one of the good examples is the virtual estate experience of one vineyard. This is the Quintessa virtual Quintessa vineyard in California, and they conducted a very good virtual experience, but which was combined with the so-called sensory marketing, because they invited clients, potential clients, to register in their platform and to make a virtual tour in the vineyard, in this Quintessa estate vineyard. But at the same time, before the virtual tour, they have sent to the registered participants a good selection of wines, which they could taste during the virtual tour. So the clients were so happy, although they were not in present, they were not in the vineyard estate, but they tasted the wines and they were very happy. And after that, their reviews in the TripAdvisor were really very exciting. They were very happy with this experience. Another example is the big software company, Salesforce. They turned their normal world tour Sydney, they turned it into a virtual event. And this was for first time, but the clients were really very happy with this event. And they recommended that in the future, the company can also continue with this virtual reality events. The global lockdown has also generated interest in AR mobile apps that help maintain complex industrial equipment without the help of external experts. And this trend will continue. We will be not surprised if it continues and will be with a bigger speed in the next couple of years. Another thing which is related to the marketing challenges on strategic level is the pandemic-related increase in consumer demand for sustainable products. Okay, you can say this is not a new trend, but we all know that it has been long assumed that only a small percentage of consumers seek out ethical and sustainable products and services. But there is growing evidence nowadays, especially in the last 2 years, different studies, different surveys show that there is a growing evidence, however, that this is changing now. The public shift toward green consumerism comes amid a recent rise in public discourse and activism concerning the environment. Since the Economist Intelligence Unit began the analysis in 2016, the global volume of Twitter conversations about nature loss has increased by 65%, by 2/3, and over 159 million people have signed it on to biodiversity-related campaigns. A lot of surveys find pandemic-related increase in consumer demand for sustainable products. I can add also something from American Cotton Trust Protocol. They surveyed 1,000 brands and retailers in the USA and in the United Kingdom. And this poll of 1,000 brands and retailers in both countries found optimism for increased consumer spending on environmentally friendly textiles. Well, this is very important for all of us because of the high level of pollution, you know, of our planet, and this increase, so the pandemic became a kind of driver, so to say, for accelerating this trend. 61%, what did this survey show? Sorry, 61% of brands and retailers say their customer demand has increased for environmentally sustainable businesses practices. Nearly 2/3, 63%, believe that the pandemic has had a positive impact on their company's proactive investment in sustainability, which is also a very important trend. You see, this proactive investment in good policies has really big growth. The trust protocol's research findings reveal that 69% of brands and retailers believe that the pandemic has emphasized the importance of environmentally friendly products to customers. Except that the market research company JFK, their global survey at the end of 2020, 2020, reveals that 60% of shoppers buy environmentally conscious brands, and if companies bear this in mind, they have to make products more sustainable. There are a lot of other examples which are supporting this trend, which I pointed, the pandemic-related increase in consumer demand. So I would like to also to focus on some challenges which are in the area of tourism and travel, because I'm very interested and I have a lot of research in the area, in the subject area of tourism marketing. During the last 30 years, my research experience is mainly in services and especially in tourism and hospitality industry. So there is interesting preferences change in the premium tourism segment during the last 2 years when the pandemic show that the priorities of premium travelers, we mean travelers who are spending more than 30,000 euros on their holidays. These are really luxury travel seekers, and their preferences have changed. The last research, the last surveys show that the most important travel values for them now are health and hygiene. On second place are the new experiences, and which are not necessarily related to luxury rest. They don't put such big stress on luxury rooms, environments, and so on, but they are looking for something different. And the approach of the tourism services providers should be creative, and the latest International Tourism Group study proves it. Nearly 37% of the tourists who spend the most in destinations, so this high premium segment, nature, for them, nature and outdoor activities are more valuable than culture, and usually culture and sightseeing were on one of the first places. Big cities, the percentage of the preferences for these leisure activities are going down. Wellness and spa centers also are showing a decrease in the demand. So they stress more now on nature and now outdoor activities, which is like, so to say, as a result of the pandemic situation all over the world. Other thing on strategic level, other marketing challenge on strategic level is accelerated shift from transactional marketing towards relationship marketing by increasing customer retention. Dear colleagues, the old mantra was relationships matter. This is the main focus in the relationship marketing paradigm. This is the relatively new paradigm in marketing since about 30 years. The main mantra is really relationships matter. And the authors, Gummison, Regis McKenna, Frederick Reichheld, Don Peppers, Martha Rogers, all of them were repeating this mantra. But nowadays, the new mantra is relationships are everything. So they not only matter, but they are everything. And the companies have to bear this in mind, really. There is a trend now for accelerated shift really from transactional marketing, the classical marketing where we put stress on the transactions, to relationships marketing. And all the companies nowadays, the strong brands, and especially in the last 2 years because of the pandemic and so to say, the changing of the consumer lives, the companies are stressing more and more on relationships with their customers. And they really try to personalize the buying experience. The companies try more and more to follow the activities of their clients online, also through the CRM systems to analyze their behavior and to personalize their connections and their relationships with the clients. However, marketers strongly agree that personalized content, 56% of the companies in one big survey is showing that marketers strongly agree that personalized content and advanced data management are keys to account-based marketing success. And even more and more companies are introducing CRM systems in order to make their contact with the clients more visible, so to say, more analytical, to collect more and more data about the client's behavior and to improve their marketing activities, of course, because of the changes in the macro and micro environment of the companies. Another marketing challenge related to strategic level is changing marketing strategies towards total domination of the social media channels. This can be also added to the marketing priorities, marketing challenges on operational level. Is not strongly related to strategic activities, but it is also important for immediate activities now, marketing activities of the companies. And the studies in marketing practices of companies reveal that in 2021, the marketing strategies are rapidly changing, and even for the most conservative companies who didn't use up to 2020 so much the social media, they are now shifting to dominance of the social media channels in order to communicate with their clients. Marketing campaigns are now being associated with social networks and influencer marketing, rather than just e-books, white papers, events, email marketing, which is really going down in the last couple of years. This dynamic applies to every marketing channel, to blogs, YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn, Pinterest. You know, all the social media are now more used by the companies in order to intensify, in order to improve their marketing practices. And another thing, accelerated business robotization, very important. Another marketing challenge is the business robotization in many industries. The artificial intelligence and the artificial intelligence and COVID-19 in this at this moment. In the period after March 2020, employers are turning to greater use of automation, including robots, rather than calling back workers or hiring new ones in many cases. Robots nowadays became essential workers in the COVID-19 economies. The trend is affecting almost every sector. We cannot definitely put stress on one sector which is not affected. All sectors are affected, all industries, including manufacturing, distribution, especially transportation, retail, tourism, travels, restaurants, and many kinds of personal and governmental services. All these industries are really very much influenced and impact impacted by the COVID pandemic, and they are trying to introduce more and more robots in their activities. The World Economic Forum said last fall that 50% of employers plan to step up automation at their companies in the next future. So there are many examples. We can give a lot of examples about robotization of in many industries. You know well about that because there are a lot of articles, a huge amount of articles in newspapers, in journals, in books about the robotization. But airports, for example, in Europe, USA, Asian countries have been using mobile robots to spray disinfecting chemicals on their facilities, which replaces special personal protection equipment. You know, the special personal protection equipment is relatively expensive, and when the staff number is big, so it's a huge expenses for the this can cost a lot of money for the companies to provide the staff with this equipment. Delivery robots are now in high demand, and as online orders continue to skyrocket. You know, the online orders in the last 2 years are increasing, and this business is going very well. In Hamburg, here are the German colleagues, the 6-wheeled robots developed by Starship Technologies navigate using cameras, GPS, and radar, or bring groceries to customers. There are already many books exploring impact of robots, artificial intelligence, and service automation on service quality. Very important issue. And service experience in hospitality, customer attitudes towards robots in travel, tourism, and hospitality, chatbot adoption in services. You all probably have used chatbots and know what it is, but I have big experience with chatbots, and I'm not very happy with some of them. Most of the online travel agencies, they're using chatbots, also a lot of airlines, but not all chatbots are really very helpful to us, to the clients. I have terrible experience with some chatbots because I'm traveling a lot when I'm going lecturing in other countries or on conferences sometimes, but and I'm traveling a lot. So I use these online travel agencies, but the chatbots, for example, of Kiwi.com or Ryanair, the low-cost company, their chatbot is also not very useful really, because it can answer only some very simple questions. And when you ask something more in detail, the usual answer is always, I don't understand, excuse me, but I cannot answer, and so on. So the live chat is much more really, the online live chat is really much more useful than the chatbots, which are robots. In fact, it's artificial intelligence, and they are still not very improved in order to improve the customer service. The real human presence is really better at this moment. This is my opinion, but I have discussed this issue with other colleagues. So most of them they agree with me that at this stage the chatbots are not very helpful for the clients. And some challenges related to operational level, rapidly changing marketing mix and messaging. The COVID pandemic has introduced some new limitations upon the marketing mix as consumers and buyers stay at home. Out-of-home marketing becomes out of date, and many important events are postponed now, you know, from personal experience or pushed into a virtual environment. Having a strong digital strategy in place is critical. Even this conference maybe some of us would come to be in present, but the COVID changed it. So companies have to align their brand messages with the current consumer values and the context of today's environment. They have to go beyond the product and to include messages focused on their green practices, customer safety and hygiene, very important. The messages have to have incorporated also some notion about customer safety and hygiene, must be also related to community, family, social responsibility of the companies, and so on. Other marketing challenge on the operational level is the digitalization of employer brand strategy. So employer branding is not a new issue, but nowadays, due to the rapid development of new technologies, the strategic context of employer branding has changed. The digitalization is not a new trend, but they are being used nowadays for achieving a new effect, not only for attracting and retaining customers, because usually the business digitalization was used mainly for attracting and retaining the company customers. But nowadays, companies and people have access to enormous amount of external online information, but companies are presenting now and sharing internal information as well, focused on improving their own business processes. So companies are showing more and more in the last 2-3 years about their policies, like good employers. So they try to strengthen their employer branding through various kind of digital strategies in order to attract good and qualified staff. Recent studies reveal that in an open talent economy, employer brand is very important in recruiting and retention high potential employees and must be focused on learning and leadership development. So the next challenge, which is related to the operational level of marketing activities of the companies, is related with the employer branding. And this is hiring top talent in marketing is like a marketing challenge. Why it is a marketing challenge now? Many companies are shifting more resources to inbound marketing, which means higher and higher demand for top marketing talent. You know what is inbound marketing? This is a marketing approach in which stresses on caring about our staff, about our human resources, like caring for our customers. So companies nowadays invest and need to invest. They are forced really to invest more and more, to make more and more investments in their human resources. They have to first to attract the best people for the marketing positions. And the type of marketing talent companies are looking for is changing fast nowadays. According to a 2020 report from LinkedIn, employers are seeking marketers with soft creative skills, skill sets, as well as hard technical skills. So the new generation of marketing specialists in the companies have to combine these two skill sets. Soft creative skills, creativity is very important for the marketing specialists, but also they have to possess hard technical skills. And the quick rate at which the demand for these jobs is rising has caused a marketing skills gap, making it difficult to find candidates with the technical, creative, and business proficiencies needed to succeed. You see, the job of the marketer is becoming more difficult due to the need of possessing digital skills. So nowadays, the marketing people have to be really not only very good on the marketing traditional competencies, but they have to be also competent in, to a good extent, in the digital marketing issues. And this is very difficult. In all countries, in many countries, there is really a lack of enough high qualified people for marketing jobs, which combine really all these skills. And nowadays, marketing is also is getting more and more close connected to the sales. So cross-functional marketing is becoming more and more cross-functional, and some of the positions, new positions, which appeared in the last decade, 10-15 years, in the last 10-15 years, for example, the account managers, this is a combination really of marketing job and sales job, because the account manager has both type of these functions. That's why one marketing expert said on one conference, marketing is too important to be left only to the marketing people. Nowadays, all the department of one company has to be closely related to the marketing activities. They have to be aware of all marketing activities of the company, and especially because of this cross-functionality, cross-functions of the new modern marketing. I wanted to tell also something, I forget to tell also something about the new demand for non-human tourism. What do I mean? And this is related to the augmented and virtual reality. There is some demand for travel of non-human travelers. These are small pet robots, which are and for this is used again the added and the augmented and virtual reality, for some companies are selling stone pets, some other kind of toys, which they use when they promote tourism attractions, and also this artificial intelligence, like small pet robots. They are also used for promotion of tourist attractions in order to attract tourists. Many creative activities are now on the way in order to satisfy the needs of the clients in all industries, in all sectors of the economies. And dear colleagues, we see that COVID pandemic has reinforced some of the marketing challenges which were already which existed already, but now we see some changes, and we have to redefine really these marketing challenges. And the companies, if they want to be successful in the new reality where we live now, they have to bear in mind all these new consumer habits and all the trends which are related to the digitalization and the robotization of the businesses. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you very much, ma'am.
If there are some questions, you can ask.
Yes, ma'am. We will wait for a minute. If there are any questions, the participants can ask the questions.
Okay.
Participants, presenters will receive an e-certificate on 3rd December 2021. Hard copy of the certificates and proceeding books will be available after 25th December 2021. The tentative date for online publication is 25th December 2021. We are grateful for your presence with given time and efforts. Our well wishes for the future collaborations and participations are always with you. The link of the feedback is given in the chat box by our technical team. Please submit your responses with a positive approach. I declare the session ends here. Thank you. For the paper presentation session, we will meet again on the given time. Thank you so much.